because you was at Arsenal since 7, do you feel like you had a real grasp on the fact that you may or may not have been earning more than the everyday person or than the everyday 20 or 21-year-old, basically?
I signed a professional contract at 17, so you turn pro. You can't turn pro before that. You know, I got paid. I think my first ever thing was about 30 grand. So it's like going from 0 to 30 grand and just like...
You got that £30,000. Let's talk about what you did with it, because you may have seen a lot of people around you doing a lot of different things.
I didn't do anything with it. I looked at it. I was like, I didn't do nothing with it, but I've been disciplined, so it's like...
We're going to get into that.
Yeah, like,
where do you reckon that? Let's get into that now. Where do you reckon that comes from? Let's get straight into the intro.
Come on.
We've got the superstar, baller in the building.
Big baller.
Charlton Athletic, football club striker, Chuks Aneke in the building. Come on, bro. Thank you for coming on.
No worries, man. How
you doing?
Good.
You good?
No, yeah, it's off season now.
Off season.
So
you blessed us with your presence.
Yeah, I know, man. No, it's good. I'm just, taking my time, mentally getting refocused. Pre-season starts in a couple of weeks, so
yeah,
just mentally off season. You just have to chill and just get off schedule and just do things you can't do when during the season. So
exactly, it's funny. Let's get straight into that, because for a footballer, like your season is mad, like mad jam packed, isn't it? And I often find that footballers, once it's off season, it's like vamos, just you can't see them, because Chuks was meant to come here today, and you phoned me like 4 days ago and said that, bro, I might not be able to make it. Yeah. I think I'm going on holiday.
That's why it is, because you got 6, 8 weeks sometimes. This one was 8 weeks, but you got 6 to 8 weeks, and usually you got like games every Tuesday, Saturday. Do you know what I mean? And I'm in League One, so you don't really get international break there. You might, but do you know what I mean? But you don't really. So, and you never know what can happen. You might get international break, and you might just not want to go away. So it's like this is the time for you to get that in. Do you know what I mean? So you're off schedule. Nothing's really planned. So you got to make the most of the time, because when pre-season starts, you're back on schedule. So yeah, no, it's good. So mentally just to refresh, chill with my son. It's family time. You know what I mean? Things like that, and then. Yeah, you go back in it, you get to work again. Do you know what I mean?
What, like, practically, what's some of the stuff that you are able to do that you ain't able to do during the season? So obviously holidays is one of them. Is it like you might take your son to a theme? I don't know. Like, what are some of the things that you get to do? Like
spending. I know my son's at nursery now, but there's been times I just spent the whole day with him. Do you know what I mean? Just like he goes nursery 3 times a week, so maybe on Tuesday or whatever, I just spend the whole day just vibing or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Take him out somewhere or whatever. So it's just really that, just because there's no schedule, you can kind of do what you want. So that's what it is. Practically, not really. Just there's nothing to do. There's no schedule. You got a free schedule, so you can do whatever you want.
But that's even a big thing.
Even come here, like, for example. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But even like spending the whole day with your son, like, that's even a big thing. Like, sometimes it's something that I personally kind of like battle with, because although I'm self-employed and I get to make my own diary, it's kind of like at the same time I still need to do a significant amount of work to make sure that my kids are good.
100%.
And you don't always get that imagine like a whole day to spend with the kids. Like, I'm trying to say, you don't get them as often as they come. So even that's a big thing.
100%, man.
But like, can you do stuff? I always want to know, can you do stuff like skateboard, rollerblade? Do you have to avoid all these? Are there certain things that you just can't, no matter what, you can't do? If you're done, you're getting fined.
You got to go through the contract, I think. But people always say about that. I've never really seen it, but motorbikes and things like that. I don't think if you fall down on a motorbike and things like that. But I never really seen that. I never seen that. But they're just things you just wouldn't do. Well, I don't know. Everyone's kind of got but there's things I just wouldn't do.
You're disciplined. We're going to get into that. He's bad disciplined. Listen, there's a lot of Nigerian ballers in the UK and abroad, that, bro, when it's off season, they're at cage football.
No, real talk.
Bro, I saw Oshimen playing.
I saw that.
No, 100. But I'll be real, like, the way my body is right now, I can't even risk it. I can't even risk it. Like, I'd rather just, like, when I get back to pre-season, I can get my physio can look at my body. I can, I do my activation, because I can't just get up and just play. Do you know what I mean? So I just wouldn't risk it. You know what I mean? Like, I think when I'm down, I can do power league and all that stuff. I miss that kind of stuff anyway, to be honest.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I miss it. Just playing with your boys and that. But afterwards, you got all the time to do that. Do you know what I mean? So,
Let's take it back to the beginning here. So
Come on.
your football career started.
How far are we talking back?
Let's talk about Arsenal.
Okay, all right, cool.
What year was that?
So when I first signed for Arsenal, I was 7.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 7 years old.
At 7 years old, like I don't know if you could ask the question, but how do you know that you're a significant baller above, like your level is
At
above the other
7.
7-year-olds?
I think it's goals, isn't it? Really, I think if you're scoring goals and numbers and I think at the time I don't know. Yeah, scoring goals. I think that's the easiest way to tell. That's what I kind of always done. You know
But was
what
it
I
a
mean?
thing though? Like you signed for Arsenal at 7. At 7,
Yeah.
do you even care? Like, does it even matter if you sign for Arsenal, Wimbledon, or like
At
Peckham?
7.
Doesn't matter. Like,
Honestly, I
seven.
don't really remember.
Yeah,
but
you
I
wouldn't
do
really.
know- I
That's
remember
crazy.
When did it really hit you? What age did it really hit you?
Yeah.
Like,
that I
bruh,
was
man.
playing for Arsenal. Like, I was in the youth team at Arsenal. I think started getting serious at maybe 13. Under 13.
You remember that a bit more?
Yeah, on the 13s, 14s, like that's when it started getting. Like, I remember all of it, but like when I'm talking like you got a contract and people are getting cut, like people that we was here from the 7 and people ain't here no more. And you start to understand, you start to like think, oh, like I got to stay here kind of thing. That's like 13s, 14.
That is kind of mad
mad.
kind of, because it's almost like a responsibility and a pressure, and it's a mad responsibility and pressure
No,
to be
definitely.
having between the ages of 7 and 13. Like how did that affect you then, and do you feel like it's changed your mindset in like how you are today?
Yeah, definitely. I think just get used to pressure. I guess that's what it is. It's pressure. Like I can get cut, I can get dropped, and I feel like I don't know. You just get used to it. I'm used to it now. Like, even like now, like I'm the last year of my contract. It's been doing this for years. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like
You've been on the last year of contract for basically,
yeah, like,
it's not the
I've
first time
got to
it's-
perform now.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know what I mean? You just kind of get used to it. I feel like if you don't get good at that, then you probably will get cut at some point. So you just get good. You just get used to it. That pressure, like, oh, I got to perform now. All right, cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's do it. Do you know what I mean?
But do you see the ruthlessness? Like I remember I was watching an interview with Eze and talking about the thing that broke his heart was when Arsenal, like he said, after that I could get cut anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like because his dream from young was to play for Arsenal.
yeah.
So when he got cut from Arsenal,
Yeah.
he took the pain, he carried on playing. But it's like any other time he got cut or dropped,
Yeah.
it didn't matter. It didn't matter as
matter,
much
yeah.
because
Yeah.
his dream was Arsenal.
That's
It's like,
resilience, isn't it? Build that resilience.
yeah. What's that like for such a young age? You should like that's an adult
That's
mentality.
that's an
Yeah.
adult like kind of like
Oh, luckily, I'm lucky. I didn't get released till I was 21 or 21. So I was there from 7 to 21. So I don't know how it was for
crazy.
a young kid, but when I was 20, 21, it was still difficult. But I was a bit older. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was difficult at the same time. But then I went abroad. I went to Belgium. I went to Zulte Waregem for a couple of years. So
how was that?
it was a good experience. Looking back on it, at the time it was tough. I'd be real,
Yeah,
because
I can
obviously in
imagine.
another country. You know, I always say this, but like, yeah, like it's just. I don't know. Have you lived in another country before?
No.
Have you lived in? Yeah, it's just when people don't really speak your language, well, not your language, but people don't speak the same language, so things like that. Just getting used to it, out of your comfort zone. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it is. And like I said, looking back on it, it was a great experience, because now I feel like I can again do it. I can do it if I want to. Like if I can go live anywhere if I want, because
Yeah,
I've done it
yeah.
before. But
Yeah.
it's not really that daunting to me. But like it's an adjustment period, innit? Do you know what I mean? But it was good. I learned different things, man. You play with people with different cultures. You see how other football players, like even just like from like touch the ball, and it's just different.
A different style,
Yeah, because
basically.
we grew up in England. It's a different
We coach in a different way.
different
innit?
way.
Yeah,
And over
yeah,
there,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like I don't know if you guys know this thing, like boxes. If you know boxes,
Yeah.
they do boxes, and like it's like keep ball boxes, rondo boxes. But like when I was over there, like you have different nationalities over there. So the way they like you give them the ball and they'll just stop it, like under their foot, and they'll do these drag backs and they'll nutmeg you like that. And I remember I got nutmegged by one guy, Bongonda. I think he's like, I don't know where he's at now, but he megged me. I think like, I couldn't even move my legs like that. The way he just rolled it from my legs, I was like, oh, I say, yo, nah. The way these guys even just touch the ball and think that that's different. So
But
yeah, it
do
was
you-
good to see.
We've seen like obviously Jude Bellingham. We've seen people go over to Germany, go over to Europe now. That seems almost like obviously we've seen Lookman recently really blow out. Like, but that's more with a manager that really appreciates you and puts you in the right system. Do you feel like more British players? Because obviously for us, we think the best league in the world is the Premier League. So the dream is to play in the Premier League. And if you can't get the Premier League, then Championship, League One, you'd rather stay in England because the Premier League is the goal. But do you feel like if there's a young football player now and maybe they're not quite getting into that first team, do you think going to Europe and getting opportunities is a good idea?
100%, because, you know, I think from going from youth football to men's football is a gap. Just in terms of physically speed, and some players get it quick, some players don't get it quick, some people take them a little bit longer to get. So depending on the kind of player you are, you might need 3, 4, 5 years of just like getting the speed of the game, getting used to it. So I think going abroad where in a league where it's not as much exposure, there's not as much, like, it's not as faster, it's not as strong. Do you know what I mean? You can go there and it's still first team football. You can build yourself up and then come back. Like for example, like a Jude Bellingham, he went to Dortmund. You know what I mean? And he was able to like learn and get ready for Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? That was kind of like his like apprenticeship to now. He's done it before, kind of thing. He's just done the same thing he done. So he's played with that caliber of players. He's playing with Marco Reus and things like that. Now he's gone to Real Madrid. Now he's playing with those guys, but it's not really a thing to him. He's done it already. Those players at Dortmund are hard. Do you know what I mean? So it's good, man. Going abroad, I can't really speak about it like enough. It's definitely, if you're a player like that. And it's definitely, especially now you've got loads of players doing it. I think when I went, no one was going. It was kind of really strange, like, do you know what I mean? Like, but I kind of saw it as well. I saw it. I think I saw Pogba go to Juventus, and I was like, because he's the same age as me, and I played against him in the youth teams or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, if he can do it, why can't I? Kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that's why I kind of was like, alright, cool, let's take it, let's do it. Do you know what I mean? But
So this is the Bread and Butter podcast, and one thing we always ask all our guests is, what's your bread and butter? But we don't need to ask you, obviously, football player, innit? But in the same breath, especially for our listeners that might not be interested in football, I want to ask you this question because it might give you some insight to them. So you've been signed at Arsenal since 7 to 21.
Yeah.
At what point did it kind of like transition from like your parents looking after your interests and your money to, all right, I am earning this much at this club? And then because you was at Arsenal since 7, do you feel like you had a real grasp on the fact that you may or may not have been earning more than the everyday person or than the everyday 20 or 21-year-old, basically?
Okay, so I think you asked me when I turned pro. I signed a professional contract at 17. So you turn pro, you can't turn pro before that. So then I think that's what was a big difference. You know what I mean? I got paid like, I got paid. I think my first ever thing was about 30 grand. I got paid like 30 grand the first time. So it's like gone from 0 to 30 grand and just like straight away.
Crazy.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's a signing on fee, basically.
That was like a salary sign on fee. Do you know what I mean? Straight away. So it's obviously a big difference, isn't it?
At 17.
You know what I mean? So you just like, it's different. Obviously, it's a big responsibility, but just get, I don't know. Like I said, I've been disciplined, so it's like
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah, like
where do you reckon that? Let's get into that now. Where do you reckon that comes from? And let's talk about that a bit more. So, what does discipline look like? What does that look like? Because you got that £30,000. Let's talk about what you did with it. Because you may have seen a lot of people around you doing a lot of different things.
I didn't do anything with it. I looked at it. I was like, I didn't do nothing with it. But like discipline. Where did it come from? I look back. I think when I first, around the same time, I got my parents. They showed me, I can't remember which one, my mum or my dad, but they showed me this program, and it was a ESPN program called Broke. I don't know if you've seen it or whatever, but it's just basically about athletes and how like NFL athletes and American athletes abroad, and it was just like how they would earn like 100 million, 180 million, that type figures, and then they'd be talking about it afterwards, and I would come in and saying, I blew all of it. And I was just looking at it, just thinking to myself, bro, like, I was looking at this thinking, bro, like, I don't care how much money I make, bro, like, that ain't gonna be my story, you get me? So that was kind of around the same time when I started, like when I got turned pro, so it's like, that was kind of my mission. I didn't really, you know, I never really cared about the facade of everything, you know, like nightclubs and all this stuff. I don't even now care, do you know what I mean? It's just more, I looked at that and I was like, regardless of what happens in this pool, I'm not coming out like that, do you know? I'm not gonna come out and say I wasted this and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that, do you know what I mean? Why do I have to do that? Because everybody thinks I'm a football player, you know what I mean? Like, nah, so that's kind of where it comes from a little bit, yeah.
But how do you keep it like? Because I was watching the Now Ranger interview, and I remember when he was coming up, he was young, but he just said he couldn't, no matter what. Like, he knew he needed to be good, he just couldn't.
Yeah,
like, it was just a bad. He's not a bad dude, but he just couldn't help. Like, he just around his friends. He's a football player. Everyone's looking at him.
Everyone's
he's going out. Everyone's expecting him to
Yeah.
be able to just blow and make money. And anytime everyone's got a problem, they come to him. Man even ended up one of his friends had an issue. And so he told him, you should do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
When that person got caught, that person said, now told me, please come put him in prison for it. Like,
Yeah.
do you understand? It's like, even when you try, you just couldn't avoid it. How do you go to the point where you've grown up with people, like, but now they've got this expectation of you as a footballer? How do you stay disciplined?
I don't know. I don't think it's discipline. I said I'm a different. You got to think as well. Character. I'm a different character. Like, I don't do anything like I don't want to do. Do you know what I mean? It sounds mad, but like if you expect something from me, I'm probably not gonna give it to you. Do you know what I mean? That's how I am. It's like, I don't know why. I've just been always like. So we're talking about different personality. Like, I'm just different the personality.
Yeah.
Like, people that really know me, it's like I'm like that's like, if you expect it, I'm probably not gonna give it to you. Do you know what I mean? So that's not really discipline to me. That's just how I am. Innit? Do you know what I mean? It's not really. I don't really see it as a. But don't get me wrong. Like, I can't be lying if I said, you know, like, I wouldn't go out and my friends are coming out and I'll pay for the food or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've done all them kind of things. Don't get me wrong, but there's just a limit to it. Like, I'm not gonna go crazy with it. Do you know what I mean?
And you're always focusing on that end goal. It's funny what you said about that show called Broke, innit? Because it really highlights the fundamentals of budgeting. Like, and sometimes it's even easier to go broke as someone who's an incredibly high earner, which sounds insane, isn't it? Because you just got no track of your budget. Like, if you know you earn £2,000 per month and you know your bills are £1,800 per month, there's people that can keep that going consistently for like 20 years. But when you got no budget, it's like you don't even know that you're burning 500k a month, but you're only making 100k a month until everything's gone.
No, 100%.
So it's crazy. You also, during your career, you started doing like some investments as well, just as nature of maybe the show this impacted you or your upbringing, innit? So like, talk to us about that and like what led you into that, how you got into that.
So there was a coach that I had. I'm under 8s when I was under 8s at Arsenal.
Under 8s?
Yeah, I was under 8s at Arsenal. So when I was under 8s at Arsenal, but obviously I've gone through the ranks or whatever, and we ain't saying contact, but like, obviously, you know, he was there. So when I started going on loan now, and he I don't know, we just came back into contact, and then he was just like, well, what are you doing with your money? Like, kind of thing, like, put it in property kind of thing. And it's I guess I was lucky or whatever, but yeah, that's the first, like, because we come from a certain background I come from. No one didn't really have money, so I wasn't really getting that type of information from like my family per se, but do you know what I mean? So it's a big thing of like, sometimes the people externally that's around you that can input that to you. Do you know what I mean? It's the people that, just about trusting the right people sometimes. Yeah. So I was lucky enough that he was around at the right time and purchased a property. I think I paid 50k for it. I spent 50k cash, like, because you just pay 50k cash. I got a property in Stoke. It was a little 2-bed in Stoke. And I just remember the feeling. I was just like that gassed me more than just like buying clothes or, do you know what I mean? It gassed me. I was like, yo, like, I own this. This is mine, innit? Do you know what I mean? So from then on, it was more like, obviously I'll buy my little stuff, but that was more important to me. You know what I mean? It was more important, like, what can I own, kind of thing. Because I got that quite early. Do you know what I mean? I was lucky enough to get that quite early. So
when was that?
That's kind of, I think I was 18 or 19. 18.
Yeah, that's serious.
But yeah, I think, and I guess because people give advice now about properties and that, but like, we bought it cash at the time. But like, obviously people say like, get your little deposit and all that stuff. But like, I can't say it was like the best investment, but it was just the feeling of just like, you get me? I think the feeling of just owning a property was, it was enough to start me on my journey, I guess. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of what really pushed me into like investing in property and just to like finance and yeah, just being smart with my money, really, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the importance of mentors as well, because he didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm trying to
100%.
say? He didn't have to do it. Like, he didn't want nothing. He just said, yo, like, what are you doing with your money? Like, and it's
100%.
so important that, like, people, like, pay it forward. Like, if something's benefited you, tell other people, like, what you doing with your
100%.
money? Like, get it into property, basically.
And that's what I say again, I think it's the trust in the right people. I think trust is like it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to speak about. But it's about, I think a lot of life is being able to vet people and knowing who to trust. Do you understand? I think trusting the wrong people can turn you left, and trusting the right people can take you to crazy heights. Do you know what I mean? So that's something that I'm big on, you know, vetting people and, you know, people that you trust, I guess. So it's important,
Yeah, Bricks is gonna talk all that finance stuff. Me, I'm gonna talk football because I'm an Arsenal fan. You know, he's a Man United guy. What? So what's it like at Arsenal?
Yeah.
Like, did you talk to Wenger? Like, was it like? Do you know what I mean? What are the coaches like? What's it like? Do you understand? Like, this is, and also one of the questions I always wanted to ask is that, what was it like the first time you saw that payslip and you saw the tax that these men are taking from you on your salary?
At that time, I didn't know about the tax. I didn't really know about it. I just seen what when.
So you didn't really care about it?
I didn't
Just
know
saw
about
the
no
net
tax.
and
Yeah,
that was
just
more than
like-
enough.
Yeah, I didn't know about anything like that, bro. Yeah, bro.
He's
Like,
never
I didn't know
worked at
nothing
Sainsbury's
about that.
before
Bro.
that.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's
didn't
the
know.
first thing you don't even care about.
Yeah.
Because they're coming from nothing, and because it's a lot, right? But then you're not thinking, right? Actually, what is this? Like, what am I actually? What are these men actually taking? Do you know what I mean?
I didn't know anything like that. I just seen what went in my account and just like, oh, I'm keeping that. That's what needs to be kept. But, do you know what I mean? But yeah, in terms of Arsenal, it's a great club, man. If I'm honest, it's a great club, and I've had so many good experiences. Like, and I look back and just like download everything that it's kind of like exposed me to the world. Like, I had a flashback the other day. Like, I see my phone and I was like, yo, the picture came up of like, I was watching like sumo wrestling, bro, in like China, because I was on tour with them, innit? And it was like, they're watching sumo. I was thinking, this is just crazy. Like, it's crazy, like kind of experiences that, like, do you know what I mean? I've had, and it goes. You know, I've been on tournaments, and just the people that I can't interact with. But yeah, to say the club, it's an amazing club that does great stuff for the community. Yeah. We used to train at Haylen first. So Haylen has changed a lot now. I haven't been there recently. I want to go actually, but it's changed a lot. But yeah, Haylen is like, you go there from like the younger ages. So when I got signed at like 7 or 8, all the way up until like 15, 16. And then after 15, 16, then you start going full time. You start going at Shenley. London Colney, that's what it's called. So we started going over there. That's when you leave school. Because actually offered me to leave school. I was 15, but my mum's a teacher, and Mum was like, you're getting your GCSEs. She said, oh, I don't want to hear anything like that. I don't want to. Mum's a maths teacher, and she's like, don't worry about that. Football will be there next year. So then, I done my GCSEs, whatever. Then I went full time the next year. But over there it's just, what can I say? Yeah, it's just like, it's an elite environment. You know what I mean? Like,
who's you around? Like, what players are you playing
at
with?
At the time, who was at the team? Cesc Fabregas, Alex Song. You know that, I think who was in that team? Emmanuel Asuquo, them players. Who else is in that? Vermaelen and them, man.
Nah, it was hard them times.
That's when you
our
were
young
good.
And our young players was proper. Our young players
Not
was
so
proper
much.
at the time.
I said, now,
Not so much.
no, that's not hard now, man. I think that's not
we're
cool. But
doing
yeah,
our thing now.
them time. Who else is there? I'm trying to think. Koscielny, Diaby. Diaby.
Diaby was, level.
Hey,
Just
Diaby,
injuries,
cold player, bro. Like feet, like stature and feet, and I've never seen it, bro. Like, his feet were mental. You know what I mean? He was hard. It was cold.
Did you ever get like mentorship from any of them players? Like, who was the one who like kind of
Small.
spoke to the younger lot a lot?
Eboué, I guess. Eboué was like a joker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think one time we had a barbecue. I mean, like, he invited the young players to his house, which is like, looking back on it, and now it's like, it's big for like a player to do that. Because there were some players like, they weren't really on that. I remember Sammy Nasri, like, he was
He looks
too
like
big
he's got the
time,
type.
bro.
He look like he's got the type anyway, man.
He was too big time, bro. But yeah, honestly, I don't know. Maybe someone have a different opinion of him, but me, like, I don't know him like that anyway. But you get me. But yeah, Eboué, like, one time we had a barbecue and he invited the young boys to his house and that, in his garden, his house and that. Do you know what I mean? Things like that, like
yeah, it's nice.
as a young player, you're looking up to people and you want to feel like, because these guys are stars, bro. Do you know what I mean? So when you're going to train with them, you're thinking, bro, like my touch needs to be good. Like, yo, these men think I'm dead, kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's proper. So when they're inviting you and they're making you feel comfortable, you just feel more comfortable when you go over there, innit? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, as an experienced player now, I always remember that. And as an experienced player now, I try and help the young players, like how he helped man. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
Like make them feel comfortable, because it's a big thing. But like these people, your dream to play football, isn't it?
Exactly.
And now you're coming into the first team environment. Like you don't want the first team guy to be like you're making feel more pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just my personality, I guess. I feel like I want you to live your dream, bro. I live mine. You know what I'm trying to say? So like I know some people could take it like competition, like like these young players gonna take my spot, like, but it's just not like that. I'll be real, like, because I remember what it was like when I was there. Do you know what I mean? And you just want people just to be like, yeah, come, like, do you know what I mean? Like, enjoy it, 2 touch, let's enjoy. Like, so when you're on the your pitch playing, you're playing free. You know what I mean? You show yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was it like the first time you played with the first team?
Training. I think the first time because I only played once, like they talk about Carling Cup game, but I trained with them a lot of times.
Yeah.
Training was mad. Training was a high level, high standard. Sick players, great experience. I look back now, because it's like when you train with them, you think, like, in terms of the rest of my career, I train with them players, and it's like, if I can train with these guys, I can train with anyone. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, for that confidence level, if I'm still showing myself with these players. Yeah. So then anywhere I go, you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
So that's kind of always giving me my confidence. Like, I know how good I am. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of kept that with me. You know what I mean? Like, throughout my whole career. So that's what that gave me. What was the whole question?
Now, my last Arsenal question, then we can move on. You've obviously been experienced. You was young. Like, we got a couple of young players in Nketiah and Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
What would you advise them now? Should they, like, Nketiah looks like because he's loved by the manager. Arteta loves him. Do you know what I mean? But he's not doing anything for his development, and we're already looking like we're going to sign another striker, which means he's going to be even less likely to get game time. And then Smith Rowe with the injuries in and out, but we know that at one point he was carrying the team. Him and Saka were carrying the team, so we know he could get back to that. But potentially they could both go somewhere now and start every single game and know that they're like one of the first, second names on the team sheet. Or you can stay at a place where you've grown up, you've loved, you know everyone, you've been comfortable. What do you say now? Like, looking back at what you've learned, like, what would you give them advice to do?
I think that both of them boys done amazing.
Yeah.
In the first team dressing room, you know, financially done great for themselves. So it's a difficult one. I think with my situation was difficult. I was on loan and I wanted to start my career. I wasn't getting played at all. Do you know what I mean? So I had to leave. But them lot, they've got games they played. Do you know what I mean? So I can't be advised. I think they're in a position where they can stay as long as, you know what I mean? Like, they can stay as long as they want. Yeah. It's their club. Bro, do you know what I mean? So I'm not in their advice. If they want to go and play, go play. If they want to stay, let them stay. They've got contracts at the end of the day. They're not in a position where they have to. So enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you know what's interesting compared to your situation though? Because when like Ebuwe invited you to the barbecue, like them man were like winners. But this current crop, if they're inviting Nketiah and Smith Rowe, bro, they'll slap the invitation, bro. Think, what you done about inviting me to your house, fam? What? Beef, man.
These man won 1 FA Cup and they're gone, you know. They're gone, you know.
Beef, man. What barbecue, man? Get this out of my face, man.
Was he Man United, didn't he?
Yeah, United.
Oh, man, days, bro. So you say, how you feeling then? Man United?
Bro, our worst season was better than your best season. So get my trying to say. We're in a bad place. We've been in a bad place for a minute.
I hear it.
We need, what did someone say? Open heart surgery. That's what's required. Everything needs to be cut out.
United, I don't know what they I'll be real, that's a big job, bro. They got, I don't know what they need, bro.
I don't know what they need. But let's talk about the difference between Arsenal, that big primetime culture. Now you're at Charlton. Charlton is a solid, loved, use the word loved club badly.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, the club means the world to the fans, isn't it? So what's that been like?
It's been great, bro. I'll be real. Like, Charlton, I've been there for about on and off, like 4 or 5 years, and I've grown to love the club, if I'm honest. So, again, not just from a football standpoint, from a community standpoint, like what they do for the community. They do so much work for the community. Just people, you know, when you come to the games, there's people that, you know, young people, disabled people, do you know what I mean? Old people, just whatever, innit? Like you just people in general, what they do for the community. I think you get to this point, you kind of appreciate more what the clubs do for because what's really about, innit?
Yeah, you mentioned that quite a lot, which is interesting.
It's what they do for the community is big, and I can't speak any more highly about the club. I'm blessed and I'm grateful to play for such a good club.
Yeah, and you said you're on your last contract
season.
at the moment.
Yeah,
last year the contract. What's that? How are you feeling for the year coming up?
Same as always. I'm positive. You know what I mean. And I've been doing this for a long time. Like I said, I've always backed myself, backed my ability. I'm coming to a new phase in my life and my career, just in terms of the athlete and my body, and I'm just trying to make the necessary changes. I guess, that's what you do as an athlete. You know, there's always a new level. I guess you have to. What am I trying to say? There's always a new price you have to pay.
Love that.
There's a new price you have to pay, and there's a new price I have to pay to get success in this one. And that's what I'm really focused on. I'm not really focused on anything else. I'm focused on that. I think at every level, you know, because money, we talk about money and all this stuff, like at every level there's always been a new price I had to pay, or new mentality I had to unlock, and this is the next one, and it's like, it's so personal to me. And it's my development as a man and because I'm a dad now. When I first started, I wasn't. So I could just go here, do this, go see this running coach. So I got a balance. So I'm growing as a man. Do you know what I mean? So, it's a new, I'm in a new moment. And I want to succeed. You know? I'm more away from anyone, just like me looking myself in the mirror. I want to succeed. I don't want it to be Chuks ended in injury. You get me? Like, man, that ain't how I'm trying to go out. So I'm really just focused on that. Do you know what I mean? Just like trying to, like, I want this to end in, not end, but I don't want this to be the end of my run or of me. Like, I'm in now. Like, I done everything that was required, and I took my mentality and my routines and everything to that level. Do you know what I mean? I want to be there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to be there. I want to be, with everything I do. I want to be elite. I think that's the journey. I think that's the journey. The journey is becoming elite. You know what I mean? Like, I come from, you know, a lot of us come from areas like, you know, we just played football, cage. You know what I mean? Just going out, playing up where it was fun. But then we come into this environment, and it's a professional environment, and it's about, I guess, learning like professional behaviours, and it's more that journey. You know what I mean? That's what I'm battling. You know what I mean? I'm battling that journey of like, can I get everything? Can I be on point with everything? You know what I mean? As opposed to, and that's just gonna make me a better man. That's what I'm locked into right now. Yeah.
And it's funny how everything's intertwined. Like, just with like your routine, be it like your diet helps you get better at like just being punctual, and being punctual helps you get better at like just looking after your body or whatever it may be, basically. So I really get what you say about the elite thing. Like, it's a journey, man, and always striving towards it.
Yeah, I see that with watching an interview with Will Smith, and he was talking about how that, like, the sacrifices that have to be made, and like he said his son gets B's, and his son like, oh, if I work a little harder, I could get an A, and his dad's like, no, you're lying. Like, he said that you think the gap between C to B is the same gap between B to A. He's like, no, the gap is completely different. To get that A, you might have to sleep at different times. You might have to change the way you eat. You might have to change the things you want. Like, the amount of sacrifices you have to make to be great. Like, people just feel like, oh, I can just, if I just, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that.
It's just a word.
It doesn't. No, it's not. It's not the same. To be great, like what you're saying, like every year you have to look at, like, okay, I'm older. My body's going through X. You have to know yourself inside out. You have to change what you do, change what you eat, change even like the places you go, the things, the trainers you wear. Like, everything is a fault. Like, how you walk you know, like everything is like, even when you're saying about earlier, like about am I gonna drive? Am I gonna get an Uber or like, do you know what I mean? Because of the strain on your body and all of that type of stuff. Like that's the average person can't imagine it. Yet we'll come to the game and we'll boo a man if, do you know what I mean? But you don't know what man has actually gone through just to be on this pitch right now. Like I want to give it all. Like if it doesn't go in, it's not because I'm not trying. You know what I mean?
Literally.
Like I'm doing everything.
Depends. Some players, that's what I say. Some players. That's one thing about athletics and just being an athlete. Like some players can wake up and just come and perform. Yeah. Some players got to do more, and I'm one to have to do more. So I know a lot of players that on the face of it, because you don't know what they're doing when they go home. Yeah. But on the face of it, they come in and they train, they go home. Do you know what I mean? And they can perform at that level. So it just depends on the type of athlete you are, I guess. You know.
I think you're absolutely right about those kind of players, because after they retire, they all talk about it, innit? Like, you know, the type of player that, like, for example, everybody knows that the type of player that, like, for example, Hazard was that he just had it. You guys trying to say, they're not talking about mad nights and then he'll come on the pitch and do a madness the next day, innit? But not everyone's body or not everyone's mind can be like that, basically. But some people just have it differently, innit?
You can see them guys and you can not dragged in, but like that's what he does, and that's got nothing to do with me.
You gotta be
like this. Yeah, you have to be.
It's like that in life. Like one of the most common ones is uni, for example. You're out doing shambaz with someone who literally needs 36 hours to revise. You need 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. And you're there shambazing with them, and then when it comes down to crunch time,
No, definitely. It's life, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's kind of being focused on just doing what you have to do. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Can't really get keyed in on what anyone. Everyone's made up. Everyone's makeup's different. Everyone's brain's different. Everyone's body's different. Do you know what I mean? Like you kind of got to key into what you got to do. Yeah. And make sure you do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say over the last few years, right? So everybody kind of knows everybody outside football. Yeah. Kind of knows the football career, and everybody in football, of course, as well. It's kind of like 15 years or so. That's correct, isn't it?
15 years, 17 to 35, 34, 33 if you're lucky.
Yeah. So something like that, basically. And it's kind of like one thing that a lot of them are worried about is that you've gone from being kind of like what we discussed a little bit as well, an extremely abnormally high earner.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like what happens then, innit? And I guess that over time we have seen to the public eye a lot more footballers kind of like transition into different things in the media space. Yeah. So whether that's punditry, commentary, or hosting something on a YouTube channel or a podcast or whatever, basically. Yeah. What's kind of like the general consensus now that people are looking to go into? And what are you looking to go into?
I think a lot of people are just going to what they like, first of all. Just your skill sets in football. I guess so. A lot of people become managers like Arteta. Yeah. I think he was there at the time I was there, yeah. So Arteta, he's a manager now. There's loads of roles in football, so a lot of people, have assistant, Ashley Cole, all these guys, they're doing, so you can stay in football. And I guess in the media, the punditry's become a lane for people to do now as well. So there's no real general consensus, but you kind of just go, your skills are what's the word? Are required.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people get their coaching badges done.
Yeah.
Some people do financial advising. At my level, because when I speak, it's a lot of times it's at my level. You know what I mean? There's people, I don't know what the Premier League and what they're all planning over there, because I'm not there at this moment in time. My career wasn't always there over there. So I feel a lot of people stay in football management. A lot of people doing their coaching badges. That kind of thing, man. Honestly, if I'm honest. One of my friends has started a business, so that's another one, because we start a business. You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
Business is business something that you're looking to get into, or what you kind of think, and you ain't decided right now?
I think it's gonna. What am I trying to say? The reason I don't have a product or a service. Like, I don't have anything that, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like right now, a product like I say I want to sell or whatever, but. Definitely, it's something I want to get into in time in future. Do you know what I mean?
No, but I think you got it though. Like when you think about even just from this interview, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, obviously talking to you outside, meaning in public, you command a certain level of respect. Like even people that don't know who you are, even if I met you and I never knew you were a football player, I still have a certain degree of respect due to your stature, due to the way you carry yourself, your voice, the way you speak. People listen. Do you know what I mean? No, so I feel like that's a skill set in itself. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's perfect for something like a financial advisor or something like where you're giving advice, even if it's coaching, even if it's, you know, becoming an agent. Like, you could do that easy every day because like you said, you've always had the discipline, you've always had that kind of self-drive, and that's something that a lot of these young people need and look up to. And you're a man, I feel like your journey is something that a lot of young people can relate to, because everyone ain't gonna make it to the Prem and stay there all the time. But you had a great career, and you're still going down a legend. Like, your name is still up there with people that have, you know, the big names out there. Like, your name's still there because of how you've carried yourself and how you've performed over the years. And I think because of that, whatever you do, a young generation are going up, grew up on your name. There are a lot of young kids that grew up, Chuks, like you're known, like, do you know what I mean? To them, do you know what I mean? So you could definitely do an agent or financial advice or coaching, and people would listen.
And you got another superpower as well. Do you know what that is?
What's that?
It's an Igbo man, innit? You know, business is in their blood.
In the blood,
It's
bro.
in the blood. How can you not do business and be Igbo?
I'm definitely, like, see me, I'm definitely gonna get to that. You know what I mean? But like, if you said to me,
what right now,
this?
of course.
Yeah, like,
right now
you know
you're
what I mean?
focusing
Right
on the season.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of things,
say.
but it's exciting, man. I'm excited for the future. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to see what I can create. You know what I mean? I've had my career, and like, I want to see what I can create. I think at this moment in time, I think I'm starting a property sourcing company.
Okay, wicked.
Yeah. So again, like I said, the intervention from my under-8s coach was a big thing in my career.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I wanna make sure, and not make sure, but I wanna, like, where I've been given, I'll try and give to somebody else, innit? You know what I mean? I feel like mentorship is, especially in our community, is something that's it's very important, and it can be missing, and it's very important for us to give back and intervene at a young age, as young as possible. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't have the right guidance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
and I can imagine at that age, you're just so in the football thing. It's like a flurry of different things that,
and you're getting
quite hard
money.
You're making money, but it's hard to think about something else. Like, I can imagine those guys ain't trying to hear about like rental yields and stuff like that.
You have no idea. I told you, you ain't know about little pay slip. So how
Yeah,
the hell are you
yeah,
gonna know
yeah,
about
yeah,
like how to invest? You know what I mean? How to even, you know what I mean, go to this solicitor or mortgage broker, this telling you about this percentage, and what are you gonna say? You don't know it. Do you know what I mean? So having that right person next to you at a time when you might not know what to do, can set you up. So when you get to a certain age where you do know what to do, you got your ducks in a line. You know what I'm trying to say? You got your property, whatever, so you can go, cool, let me sell that and do this now. I want to do this business venture or whatever, but you just can't spend the money in silly ways, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's just a waste, innit? You work very hard from such a young age, so, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm very big on that now. Just trusting the right people, getting the right team around you, you know what I mean? You know, even my agent now, I was lucky enough to meet him at 25. I was going for a hard time at that time, and then I met my agent, and you know, my career has been able to like
wicked.
Stabilize, and from just meeting him. So like, I'm very big on trusting the right people. It's something that you would never even know, but getting the right people around you, even your wife, your partner, do you know what I mean? It's like,
of course,
the right people take you to where you want to go to. You get what I mean? So that's what it is.
So what was your favourite season? What was, if you have one, like the season where you feel like every time you kick the ball was going in the net, like whatever you did, like it was just like, it felt like you were floating. It was your favourite.
Favourite season?
Where were you?
My favourite season? I think I have one. I worked mad hard. Favourite season? I think the best times were when we was on, like, we were like in the resis, the reserves, innit? Because when you're at Arsenal, that's why you were speaking about Smith Rowe, and I was like, that bubble of being at Arsenal was so sick, man. No, real talk, man. It's like, it's not the real world. Like, it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like everyone loves Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you just get. I'm not saying you wouldn't at another Premier League team, but it's just like you just get, like, I don't know, it might be boxes, like you play for Arsenal. Like, do you know what I mean? You get like a box at O2, things like. Do you know what I mean? You get that anyway, innit? But I'm just saying, like, everyone loves Arsenal.
Everyone
I don't know
loves
why
Arsenal,
it's
so
like that, innit? Yeah, but it's like that, innit? So
You not call yourself the coach club or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know why it's like. So yeah, no. When I was at the Resis, and you know, you're with your just with your the teammates that you played with, like since you was kids and you grew up together, and you're just there. You're still in that bubble.
Yeah.
Play a game, might go Mayfair, whatever. And just go and just chill. You know what I mean? I think those are the times were the most.
It's crazy.
Yeah, not crazy, but just
It's a crazy. It sounds like a
yeah,
crazy
like
reality.
it's just
It sounds like a
It's
crazy
just
reality,
it's just
so-
fun, and there's no, I guess, real pressure.
Yeah.
You don't even know about that pressure yet.
Yeah.
You get me? So you're just like enjoying. So I think them times is probably the most fun. Yeah, just scoring goals and get me posing me a little Arsenal badge like you think you made it and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It feels like how you're describing it. It feels like a proper like Arsenal like incubator.
Yeah.
Like you've been kept
100.
safe of what it's like
100,
really like.
man.
But the thing is, not a problem, but the thing is they're getting all of the benefits as well.
100,
Man
man.
said box when you want it. Oh, you play for Arsenal. It doesn't matter in what capacity you play for Arsenal.
100,
You
man.
play for Arsenal, we're giving you this for free.
100, bro. Like even in my life now, like, I would say, I used to play for Arsenal. Be like, oh, you play for like, well, like, forget the rest of the club. You play for like, you're like, yeah, like you just get like people think it's different. It's a different. So it is what it is, man. It's a good club, you know, good times.
Before I ask you the W and the L of your career, which we always ask, I want to know what was your favourite goal?
Favorite goal?
The goal that
Scored
made you
some
cry.
good
You ever
ones.
cried after a goal?
Hey,
Like the foe.
cry? Did he cry?
Sunderland. Remember when he banged the one at Sunderland?
Oh, what one was that one? I can't remember.
So-
When it came over.
Yeah,
and
when it
showed
came
that,
over and he
I
banged
seen
it.
that.
Yeah. That was.
You watched that Amazon Prime? You
Yeah, I
watched
watched.
it?
It was
That
sick. Did you watch it?
hard, Yeah.
What?
Hey,
Which one?
Defoe's documentary.
No.
Aye, sick,
It's hard, man.
sick.
It's weird because he went to my school. He's like, I went St. Bon's in Forest
Oh,
Gate,
yeah.
and he went to my school. Like he's like the biggest footballer that come from my school, innit?
Yeah.
So I remember him coming back one time, but I watched his Amazon documentary, and
Yeah.
it was like not my life, but the beginning of it, like the way he played like Sunday League, then he went, do you know what I mean? He got scouted, and it was so similar to mine. I was like, raw, like man, got similar like starting.
Yeah.
Like our stories, obviously he went on to do what he done and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like I was watching it thinking, wow, this is mad similar. Like grew up in East London. Yeah, me obviously he was Senrab and I was Ripway, so it's like similar like flipping team, innit? So I was like, yeah. Then he went Lily Shop, but it was really good, man. It was really good to see, man. Obviously he's done great for himself, innit?
Yeah.
So it's good, man.
No,
So, yeah.
But your favourite goal?
Favorite goal was I scored a goal for MK Dons at Peterborough. And I don't know if you can show it or whatever, I don't know, but yeah, whatever. It was like a 1-2, got it from the court, someone went to the court and I was on the edge of the box. Or I did like a 1-2 and then just banged it. And I'll tell you, I banged it so hard, bro. More time, this type, when you hit it like this, it can go anywhere.
Yeah.
No, you're laughing. When you hit the ball like that, it can go anywhere. So I banged it. It's gone straight in the top bins. Oh, I said, hey. And you know, I said, it came out. The ball, it bowed and it came. But I came out. Landa said, hey. I know, I celebrate that. I said, hey, that one. And then I knew it was hard because like the opposition fans started clapping. You get me? Like, do you get it? I said, yo, I said, yo, like, that's hard. Even when I see it now, I think, what, me? I did that. Hey. But I scored some good ones, man. I don't know if you can cut to them in the edits and that, but I'm proud of that still. Yeah, I scored some good goals, man.
You see when you do a madness like that, yeah, do you actually feel things moving around you? Like, or your agent tell you like, right, after you bag that goal, there's some whispers or this person's come to the next game, is it? Or it's not that direct?
It's the WhatsApp thing. It's like your phone just be ringing off, bare fire emojis and whatnot. So that's what it is. Just your phone to be ringing off like raw. Like Sky Sports News, innit? Yeah. So it's probably coming in when you score. Like people are watching it or whatever. But yeah, when you score a mad goal, like it's just like your phone just ringing off, innit? You know what I mean? But that's not gonna get you. Not all the time. Not gonna get you a move or nothing. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like everyone just fire emojis in the chat, innit?
But you think striker's the best position in football? Because like I feel like you're a hero. Like strikers are the hero. Like, do you know what I mean? Everyone talks about strikers. They go on and say, I know midfielders are good, but you are the.
But in what? What do you mean? Like in terms of for the fans or what? In terms of
like when you, as a football player, like when we used to play, everybody wanted to play up front. Nobody wants to be in
you
goal.
wanna-
Yeah.
Like,
but it just
everyone to play for.
That's the thing. I think it kind of depends on your personality. If you're like
was gonna say that.
yeah, like if you're like, because I started as a midfield player, so like being at the center of attention type like thing wasn't really me. I was more of a assist man. Like if people that didn't know me, I was more of like a player man, through ball assist, and that's kind of how I was. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't always even a striker. So it just depends on your personality type. And but if you're saying from the fans, with the fact the fans obviously love the guys that score the goals, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like as a midfielder,
Also comes with that
playing
pressure, though,
midfield.
innit?
Yeah, definitely. But I guess if it's what you do, then it's not really pressure. If you score goals, you're a goal scorer. Like, do you know what I mean? But best position, I don't know. I like playing. Well, I liked playing centre mid.
Is it?
Yeah, because you're always involved. You're not playing up top. You wait and
Bare
like,
time, no
yeah,
ball.
like, do you know
Like
what I
Haaland.
mean? Yeah,
Bare
like,
time, no
Bare time, no
ball.
nothing.
Get
Talk about your
get
touches,
the
3
ball.
touches,
yeah,
and stuff.
like when I was back in the day when I was at Arsenal, like them times, I was a centre midfielder. They were trying to say I was like Patrick Vieira type player. So I enjoyed just being involved in the game, getting the ball. You know what I'm saying? Getting moved from the back and then you playing it, spinning it, putting it around, and getting the box as well, score. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like, it was always involved in the game. So
Do you know what's mad? I was watching Champions League final the other day,
Yeah.
and I was saying that like I say to myself that I can like perform under pressure, just generally speaking.
Yeah,
Typically,
yeah.
I do okay in it. Like,
Yeah.
I've been well versed in different types of things.
yeah,
But you see, I said to the man, sports, I don't think, you see when the Champions League celebrated, there's bare lights on it, and it's just me, and I'm like left back, and this big old pitch, and they kick off, and someone flings the ball, bro, what will be in my eyes? Bro,
The lights are so bright.
I couldn't imagine
I'll be real.
someone switching the ball to me at a Champions League final.
I never played Champions League final, so I can't talk about it.
But I'm still saying
But,
that like a big
yeah.
game, like for example,
be
this is what I
surprised,
love
though, you'd be
about
surprised,
this is what I
though.
love about English football.
Yeah.
Is that like at the end of the season, I'll go and I watch Championship and League
Yeah.
One because it's just as intense.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
matters just as much, basically. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
defo,
So the
defo.
games you've definitely played in some intense games where it's
100%.
this matters, like
100%.
so like I feel like my legs would be like jelly, bro.
But you start saying you think that, but it's like when you play football, you're on. It's kind of like you just you're on automation, bro. Like you don't the beginning. Cool, you can see everything, and then when the ball, maybe the first couple minutes or whatever, maybe fans or whatever, you can hear it, but after that, you're just locked in. You know what I mean? It's not really, you don't really see it.
And you've been
Do you
doing
know
it
what I
since
mean?
7.
Yeah, it's all kind of automation. Like you're locked in.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I was saying, you don't really see it after a while. Do you know what I mean? Just play, and then that's it really.
On that note, bro, what we always ask is, what would you say the W and the L of your career is? And that's to kind of show the people listening
The
that
W
look,
and the L.
there's these highs, but there's always these L's or these lessons. The L can be for lesson that you learn in the game.
W's would be signing contracts and just signing contracts. Yeah, I think
If you could give one
one?
W, so which one felt and it doesn't even have to be the best one, but the one that comes to mind, like what was the contract that you, and describe what that was like?
I think the one I signed for Charlton. I think the one I signed for Charlton. I went in League 2, so I got relegated. Yeah, so W and L. The L would be, I got relegated. I got relegated from League 1 to League 2. I've been relegated a few times, unfortunately. I got promoted the next season, but relegation is just one of the worst feelings for that. You know what I mean? Because money goes down. For one, money goes down, but just like career prospects goes down, and just like it's so final and it's so like we're athletes and we're winners, innit? Do you know what I mean? And we want to win. So it's like when you get relegated, it's like, oh, like man, actually a loser. You get it? Like it's like everyone can see. So it's like I'm part of this losing environment. So losing, getting relegated from, I would say, League 1 to MK Dons. That was difficult. The fans was on us and that. It was mad, yeah. So that would be an L. But the W, I would say the inverse, because the next season I was in League 2 and I scored like 17 goals there. And I went to the Championship the next year. So that's life for wins and losses, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But you get a loss and you bounce back. So that's what I think, because I worked so hard. Because at that time I was trying to get to the Championship. and I was score goals, and people were umming and ahhing about me. So when I went League Two, it was kind of like, raw, like I'm trying to get up and I went down. You know what I mean? I was trying to go up and I went down. Like, damn. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, you really test who you are, because it's like, yo, I wanted to quit, but I'll be real. Like, I wanted to this is long. Do you know what I mean? I'll be real, and not even in a way of just like, oh, I don't want to play football. Just like, I don't want to try hard like anymore. I was like, at the end of my life, yo, I'm trying very hard and this ain't really working. Do you know what I mean? But so I went down, stuck at it, innit, and just went there, done my thing, and then God answered the call the next year, innit. So it's one of them ones, man.
It's a great lesson.
Yeah,
but I always wonder, do football players ever put things in context? Like, because like you, for example, you was in League One, you went down to League Two, you got relegated, you're sad.
Yeah.
Man are doing parade. They just got promoted to League Two,
Yeah,
to the same league that you're in. And man are doing parades and they're cheering with the crowd. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I don't feel like anyone ever puts it into context. Like, actually, you are going down, but you're still living a dream that bare people below you wish they could get to.
Yeah, but I guess expectation. Even
Yeah.
like me, I started at Arsenal, so it's like for me, it's like I started there. I got this an expectation. I think if you started in conference and you go to League Two, you're gonna think, of course, innit?
Of course.
It's like anything in life, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I had a different expectation. For me to go down the leagues, like people kind of associated me with being at a top club, innit? So for me, I'm not trying to go down.
But then straight to Championship.
Yeah,
Because
so
you would have thought the club you were at in League One would have got you to Championship.
Do you understand what I'm
Actually,
saying?
playing at League Two got you to
to
the
Championship.
It's a lesson.
Yeah,
Bro,
exactly.
so that's a big one
100%,
still.
bro. Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's tight, like, God's time, not God's time. Things happen when they're meant to happen. Bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Things happen when they're meant to happen. So, it's good, man.
But bro, thank you for coming on.
No worries,
Really
man.
enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah.
Guys, that's been the Bread and Butter podcast.
Hey, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know which part you like. In fact, you lot, I beg you lot, share with somebody. I'm tired. I'm in the street, bro.
Yeah.
People are stopping like, I love your pod. You know, bro, the comments is dry.
Yeah, bro. Drop a comment. Just say in the comments, I've been watching this podcast and I love it and I've shared it with
Before we
someone.
go, one thing. I'm starting up my platform, 360 Property Group. You can see it on my Instagram, and if you want to follow up, and
Love
We'll
that.
add that in the
definitely,
description
man.
as well. 360
Sweet.
Property Group, guys.
Yeah. Good,
But
man.
yeah, thank you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and drop that comment and share it with somebody, please. And we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.